Good afternoon and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Elio Castillo asks, I think I pronounced your name right, wants to know how you make Ezekiel bread. First off, you're going to need a mill and you're going to have to grind all this up together. I will be making again when I can afford all the flours. But these are the measurements of the berries that you need. You'll need 2.5 cups of red wheat berries, 1.5 cups of smelt berries. You need 1/2 cup of whole barley, and 1/4 cup of whole millet, 1/4 cup dried lentils, 2 tablespoons of dried Great Northern beans, 2 tablespoons of dried kidney beans, and 2 tablespoons of dried pinto beans. Now you grind this up until you get it in the texture of flour, and then you make bread with it. Now, the Ezekiel bread recipe here that I have, it comes out of Ezekiel 4:9. This is the ratio to make 3 9x5 loaves pans, and you must grease them. Now what I want to do is make the Ezekiel flour and add white flour to it to get more of a lift, so it's more like a loaf, so I can make muffins and stuff with it. But just to make it the way it was made in the Bible, first you grind all of this up until you get a fine powder. Then, like I said, now here is the actual bread recipe. 4 cups of hot water. You need 1/2 cup of oil, 1 cup of liquid honey, 2 teaspoons of salt, 8.5 cups of freshly milled Ezekiel flour, which I just gave you, and 2 tablespoons of quick rising instant yeast. Now you're going to mix in a large mixing bowl, you're going to beat together the hot water, oil, honey, and salt. You add about 5 cups of the Ezekiel flour, mix until combined. Sprinkle the yeast over the top and continue mixing. While mixing, add remaining flour. It will be a thick batter, and continue mixing for about 5 minutes to let the gluten develop. Because you're using whole grains, you have to do that. Now you divide the batter evenly among prepared pans and let it rise until the batter is about 1/4 of an inch from the top of the pan, about 30 minutes. Well, if it's chilly, it's going to take longer, but if it's hot, it'll move faster. Checking often to make sure the loaves do not over-rise, they say, because if you let the batter rise higher, it will overflow the pan when you're baking it. While the loaves are still rising, you preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Now you're going to bake it in the preheated oven for 40 to 45 minutes or until brown. She also says use an instant read thermometer inserted in the center of the loaves, registering 190 degrees. That's how she makes it. That's not how I want to make it. I'm going to make mine a little different, so it's more of a loaf pan, and I'm also going to use it in muffins and see if we can pull it off in biscuits and stuff. But there you are. That is the recipe to make the Ezekiel flour as well as to make the Ezekiel bread. Okay? So listen, you take care. I couldn't write all this out for you, so this is why I'm doing a video for you. Take care, okay? Bye-bye.